Bollywood has never bbeen this good. Catch Made for Each Other weekdays at 12:30 p.m. on your drama station. Brought to you by CVM News at 7 headlines Tuesday, courtesy of Heart NSTA Trust, Jamaica's Human Development Agency.
New hurricane. Coming up in CVM News, Prime Minister announces new hurricane relief initiative.
Man dies in Manchester house fire. In the business news, Brighton announces strategic stake in CPJ, and in sports, Kishane wins men's 100 meters, while Shericka pulls up in 200 at Hungry Meat. From Kingston, Jamaica, this is CVM News at 7. I'm Stephen McHugh.
And I'm Carolyn Brown. It's Tuesday, July 9, 2024. Thanks so much for joining us for what will be a shortened broadcast to make way for our continued live Copa America coverage. Parliament is back in session for the first time since Hurricane Beryl with some crucial announcements.
Prime Minister Andrew Holness on Tuesday introduced a new initiative aimed at post-storm recovery efforts. Ramon Gordon has the details.
Parliament reconvened today, July 9, for the first time following the recent passage of Hurricane Beryl. On Tuesday, legislators further celebrated Jamaica's recent removal from the Financial Action Task Force FATF grey list, which identifies countries with deficiencies in their anti-money laundering or counter-terrorism financing regimes. However, Prime Minister Andrew Holness soon took centre stage, announcing a new initiative to mitigate the fallout from the island's most recent natural disaster.
Today I am announcing the Relief Emergency Assistance and Community Help REACH program. The major elements of the REACH program will include the distribution of food and essential supplies, utility, water, electricity, and telecommunications restoration, housing and reconstruction support, and economic recovery and restoration of livelihood.
Medication is also a top priority as the Health Ministry moves to reduce the potential for a dengue outbreak. Meanwhile, the Labour Ministry has been proactive, distributing care packages to families nationwide.
These care packages contain enough food for a family of 4 for 4 days. By today, approximately 5,000 families would have received care packages. We are coordinating the continued distribution of food, water, medical sundries, and other essentials to citizens in the most affected areas. And I want to repeat that. The work is going on in the most affected areas.
Before Beryl, the Holness cabinet allocated $5 million to each constituency for emergency relief efforts. However, Holness today moved to clarify the roles of MPs in recovery.
While members of Parliament must not be viewed as the first line of response in a disaster, the reality on the ground is that they are often so viewed. It is important that they be empowered to respond to the critical needs of their constituents, but not to replace the government ministries that have the line task to do so.
The government refrained from releasing a final death toll today, though the Prime Minister did confirm at least 2 deaths. The Prime Minister says while assessments are ongoing, his government is working to alleviate the strain on already struggling populations. Ramon Gordon for CVM News.
The Jamaica Fire Brigade is investigating a massive blaze in Barbican, Kingston that left a family in mourning and a businesswoman sifting through her losses. Trisha Kelly has more details.
Less than a month after local government and rural development minister Desmond McKenzie mentioned an increase in domestic fires in the corporate area, and already another family has suffered a similar fate, this time in Barbican, Kingston. One tearful resident, Anne-Marie Williams, was at work when she received the call that her house was on fire. After wiping her tears, she explained that by the time she got home, there was almost nothing to save.
Well, I basically lose everything, you know, all of my appliances, fridge, deep freezer, washing machine, 2 Chester jar, 2 bed, printer for my son, everything, laptop, tablets when I'm having at the house, because whenever I have no light, whenever they home, so the house did lock up, so we lose everything.
Along with Anne-Marie is a business owner who began her journey in December, but her business is now on hold as all her goods were destroyed in the fire. She too is pleading for assistance.
Everything gone. I don't know where to start from now. Don't know where to start from today. So Jamaica really needs some help right now. And I'm only help finance, and it gone.
What's even worse is that the victims have nowhere to lay their heads tonight. One victim was even injured in the incident. Another resident suggested that a lit candle started the blaze. However, the Jamaica Fire Brigade has not confirmed. Commander for the Kingston and St. Andrew Division, Senior Superintendent Patrick Gooden, says the case is still under investigation.
7 adults and 6 children. Children were left homeless. Because of the fire at this point in time is under investigation, because the investigators are presently on the scene searching for whatever evidence that they can find to determine the cause of the fire.
Trisha Kelly, CVM News.
Meanwhile, an elderly man is dead after a fire broke out at his home in Belvaney Heights, Manchester. Dead is 74-year-old Ronald West, whose remains were found following cooling down operations by firefighters. Information is that fire engulfed an apartment complex that housed the senior citizen sometime this afternoon.
Upon arrival, we saw a 12-apartment complex fully engulfed in flame. We got into operation, knocked the fire down, brought it under control. During our cooling down operations, we discovered what appeared to be the remains of a human inside the dwelling.
Westmoreland recorded the second highest murder rate this year in Jamaica, with 57 murders following closely behind St. James with 73. The police, who have pledged to reduce the figures and crime overall in the parish, carried out a search operation on Monday sometime between 3:30 and 6 p.m. for violence producers. Commanding Officer Superintendent Othniel Dobson says his team will continue working to rid the communities of criminals.
The Westmoreland police conducted a series of targeted operations at gangs, gangsters and wanted men. During one of these operations within the Morgan's Bridge police area, these 2 high-powered rifles were recovered, along with 2 magazines and 49 rounds of ammunition. 2 level 3 ballistic vests were also recovered. But the police believe that these weapons and ballistic vests were recently used in incidents of crime within the Morgan's Bridge area, and that these weapons are part of the arsenal of the Kings Valley gang. The recovery of these weapons will surely put a dent in the gang activities within the space. The Westmoreland police continues to work assiduously targeting gangs, gangsters and wanted men in an effort to make the Westmoreland division a safer place.
Meanwhile, the fisherfolk from the New Causeway Fishing Village are calling on the authorities to help clear mounds of debris left by Hurricane Beryl, which has distanced them from their means of survival. Brittany Witter reports.
Mr. Green, could you please visit the fishing complex on the causeway right on the dike road here? Please come and see the position, what we are into, and come and help us.
That's the outcry from Fisherfolk at the Causeway Fishing Village in Portmore, St. Catherine. Bare feet with rakes in hand, they rallied together to clean up the mess left behind by Hurricane Beryl. With their livelihood now threatened by plastic waste, discarded fishing gear, and other debris, they're appealing to the authorities for assistance.
Tired of this, to be honest, because every time we have a disaster, nobody to help us. We're paying fee, we have to pay license to go on the sea. So what's the problem? Why we're paying and there is no help when a disaster? And it's not we bring it on ourselves. So the relevant authorities, whether the Ministry of Agriculture, Fisheries or wherever, the body that is responsible for us, can you come in and help us? And while we have this problem, there's no one to help us. And we're paying our money.
No boat can go in or come out. You understand? To all the debris, we have all the fridge, we have tree log, all kind of things wash down, come down in the river. You understand? As I can see, no boat can. The fishermen have to help themselves, you know, we're not getting help from the government.
Portmore Mayor Leon Thomas says the municipal corporation is aware of the situation and help is on the way for the Fisherfolk.
In regard to the fishing village, the Dyke Road, the Portmore Municipal Council have done an assessment, look at the area. There's a lot of debris along the shoreline, and we are just awaiting some response from the Ministry of Local Government to start some cleaning up process. We have started, some already start to remove fallen trees and cutting up and removing. So we are going through. We'll be approaching that side sometime soon.
Britannia Whittle, CVM News.
And a vocal Port Royal resident is calling on the councillor and member of parliament to fix the long-standing drainage problem before another disaster strikes. With more, here's Adrian Williams.
Port Royal, a city filled with resilient people, always ready to make fixes as they see fit. However, this time they are demanding the authorities to rid a problem they have had for years. So I am walking here now in a pool of water, which was caused by rainfall. The residents, the fishermen here said it's not that the sea came over, so Port Royal is quite fine, as you have heard residents saying earlier. But just beyond here, behind me, is a drain that is clogged up and the water is not moving out as quickly as it should. So this is something that the residents are crying out to the authorities to fix.
I videoed the gutters. Everybody else got a clean before the storm. Who for one don't clean? Port Royal. I know we got a no clean. Everybody got a clean. $5 million allocated for clean gutter and do all kind of something. And Port Royal don't get 1 cent out of that $5 million there.
Chamberlain is fired up and increasingly impatient about the issue, which she fears could lead to a spread in diseases if it persists.
Look here, who tell you I don't open my mouth? Who did tell you I don't open my mouth? I open my mouth because I don't afraid for opening it. I live here, my children live here, my aunts, uncles, families and friends live here. And as much as them not let me defend my community straight because I live here. You saw me not live here then? That's a different story, but I live here. So anything that affects me affects the town, so I speak about it.
She explains the gutters are all interconnected and filter into the sea.
Because every gutter leads into the sea. And it is terrible, so I can walk here. Okay. Yeah, man, I can walk here and show you the gutter.
Chamberlain led us through the community to show us the state of the drains that should be taking away their wastewater. And it is clear the gutters are in a deplorable condition. In Tuesday's Kingston and St. Andrew Municipal Corporation meeting, Mayor Andrew Swaby reported the estimates of recovery costs post-Hurricane Beryl.
Preliminary estimates estimated recovery costs during the passage of Hurricane Beryl on our public infrastructure is about 530 million Jamaican dollars. These include damages to roadways, drainage network, landslides, block drains, public buildings, and other infrastructure that falls under the remit of the KCMC.
Until then, the residents of Port Royal await a permanent fix to their drainage issues. Adrian Williams for CVM News.
In a recent update from the Jamaica Public Service, JPS, Senior Vice President for Energy Delivery, Blaine Jarrett, reported significant damage to the company's transmission network following the hurricane. According to Jarrett, the distribution network, particularly in the southern and western parts of the island, was severely impacted compared to the eastern parts of the island. He says the damage has disrupted power delivery to numerous communities, emphasizing the urgent need for repair and restoration efforts. And ahead of the break, we go to social media.
So, what's the latest buzz online? Shericka Jackson, the reigning 200-meter world champion, suffered an untimely injury during a 200-meter event at a track meet in Hungary on Tuesday. After leading the pack, coming off the bend, Jackson pulled up just 30 meters from the finish line. Here are some of your comments. At Mishka Tami writes, Shericka Jackson, I hope it is nothing serious but a precautionary move. She was in the lead and then stopped. Her facial expression said it all. Worrying. At 3 below 0 shares, what muscle does Shericka Jackson need from my legs? Cause she can't have it. At Colonel Van says, Shericka Jackson limping off is worrying. Couple weeks to the Olympics? At TXCI comments, I sincerely hope Shericka Jackson has a speedy recovery. At Near Daily Tracy posts, fix it Jesus, no injuries around here. And that's what's buzzing online today. Continue to share your thoughts with us on X at CVMTV and CVM_television on Instagram. I'm Ronaldo Adams.
CVM News at 7 headlines Tuesday, courtesy of Heart NSTA Trust, Jamaica's Human Development Agency.
The new KFC Cheats a Zinger. Crispy, spicy chicken topped with marinara sauce, mozzarella cheese, and pepperoni in a brioche bun. Available for a limited time. KFC, it's finger-licking good.
Let's go! Bag it and pin it, every rubbish in a pan. No dirty up the place, this a we island. So keep Jamaica, keep Jamaica. Say me good with, keep Jamaica clean. Make you listen to me please. No plastic bag, no fear blowing at the breeze. No proper garbage, disposal, recycle plastic, now make it full up in the streets. Bag it and pin it, every rubbish in a pan. No dirty up the place, this a we island. So keep Jamaica, keep Jamaica. Say me good with. A message from the National Solid Waste Management Authority.
The best Burger King with the best tasting burger under the sun. You deserve the best, you are number one. Best. Flame grilling, juicy whopper, cause you deserve it. Yeah, next level, awesome, that's how we serve it. Mama menu done your way, to taste rules every day. Flame grilled goodness, you deserve it. Great taste, well done. More flavor, fresh Burger King, best tasting burger under the sun.
CVM News at 7 Tuesday, brought to you by KFC.
The new KFC Cheats a Zinger. Available for a limited time. KFC, it's finger-licking good.
Thanks for staying with us. We'll look now at all regional and international news.
We begin with news in the region. The Attorney General of Venezuela, Tarek William Saab, has provided statements on a plan to threaten the national security as well as the life of President Nicolas Maduro and boycott the upcoming election of July 28. Details from Telesur English.
You know what I refer to has to do with a new brutal and terrifying episode of the continuous drama that started in May of 2023 until today. It's been escalating in a serious degree because what we're going to show today as Public Ministry of Venezuela has to do with a request we have made formally to the prosecutor's office in Colombia, and we will have the communication afterwards, so that in this case, conspiracy of an attempt of assassination, of threats to the President of the Republic